How I eat all day on just $3.80. Hi everyone, I'm Ty, 26 years old. Today's video is about my 3 meals for the day on a budget of just $3.80, equivalent to 100,000 Vietnamese dong. And here's a twist. It's an entire day eating nothing but banh mi based dishes. This morning, I woke up at 7 a.m. and the moment I stepped out of my room, I was met with pouring rain. Just like you can see here. I grabbed my umbrella and headed out to grab something for breakfast, even with the rain coming down pretty hard. The first thing on my list today was a banh mi Saigon, priced at 17,000 Vietnamese dong, which comes out to about 65 cents.
Lấy một ổ chả cá đi. Có.
There are so many different kinds of banh mi to choose from here. Banh mi with fried eggs, banh mi with siu mai, Vietnamese meatballs, banh mi thap cam, the classic combo with various cold cuts, banh mi with grilled pork, and more. In the end, I decided to go with banh mi cha kya, fish cake banh mi for myself.
Quán ăn ớt đầy đủ anh ơi. Không bỏ ớt. Không ớt nha. Không bỏ ớt.
Cho em ớt đầy đủ đi.
Rồi. Đầy đủ có ớt nha em.
Không ớt.
Rồi ok.
After buying the banh mi, I headed over to a coffee shop I usually go to. As you can see, this particular coffee shop is pretty crowded since it's on a corner with frontage on 2 streets. But I actually prefer the one I usually sit at because it's less crowded. And here's the shop I usually go to. Alright, time to enjoy breakfast. Eating while watching the rain outside, what could be better than that? Since I just woke up, I probably look pretty funny right now. It was pouring rain just this morning, and now it's already scorching hot. Saigon weather is really unpredictable. At noon, I'm going to head to the supermarket to buy ingredients so I can cook for both lunch and dinner. First, I stopped by the egg section and bought a carton of eggs priced at $1. Next, I went to buy some beef. I was hoping to find a pre-sliced pack of beef, but they didn't have any pre-cut beef here. Each pack was a whole large cut of meat, priced at around $3. Since I don't have a fridge to store leftovers, I decided to buy 100 grams of ground beef instead, priced at $1, just the right amount for lunch.
Cho một lạng thịt bò xay, một lạng bò xay. Vậy đó.
Next, I picked out a few cucumbers to eat as a side. Cucumbers cost 80 cents per kilogram. I honestly don't know if that's expensive or cheap. I went looking for soy sauce. This type of soy sauce is commonly used in vegetarian cooking, made from fermented soybeans, wheat, salt, and water. It has a rich, salty umami flavor that works great as a dipping sauce or seasoning for a variety of dishes. Next, I went to get some banh mi. I was originally planning to buy the traditional style banh mi, like the one I had this morning, but they also had these long baguettes here, so I decided to grab that instead. One loaf cost 30 cents.
Được rồi. Cho em hỏi có hũ bơ ở đâu chị? Bơ
Tự An đúng không ạ?
bơ đúng rồi, bơ nhỏ hũ vàng vàng á.
Dạ.
Dạ, cảm ơn chị.
This jar of butter costs 30 cents. I'm buying some ingredients for dinner now. There are a lot of different canned fish brands, but I'll go with Bako Gai canned fish. It's the brand I usually eat, priced at around 90 cents. I also picked up 2 limes to make some lemonade.
Cái gì em?
Rồi hai đến đây á. Lấy thêm củ nhỏ.
I got back home around 12 p.m. Alright, time to start cooking lunch now. First, I sliced the banh mi into bite-sized pieces. I only cut half of the loaf, I'll save the other half for dinner. For lunch today, I'll be cooking bo nay, Vietnamese sizzling beef, served with banh mi alongside the beef and eggs. This dish usually comes with pate and pickled vegetables as well, but I'm not a fan of either of those, so I'll be leaving them out. Time to get the pan heating up. I'll add the butter in first and let it melt down until it gets nice and fragrant. Once that's ready, I'll toss the banh mi pieces into the pan and toast them until they turn golden and crispy. Once they've got that perfect crunch, I'll take them out and set them aside in a bowl. Next, I'll take the ground beef and put it into a bowl. I'll add in a bit of fish sauce along with some seasoning powder to give it more flavor. I'll mix everything together well so the beef can soak up all those seasonings before it goes into the pan. This step really helps bring out a richer, more savory taste once it's cooked. I melted some more butter in the pan, then added in some minced garlic. Once the garlic turned slightly golden and fragrant, I poured in the beef I had marinated earlier and stir-fried it until fully cooked. Once the beef was done, I transferred it onto a plate. Eating the beef plain like that would be pretty boring, so I added some oil into the pan and fried up 3 eggs, sunny side up, to go along with it. I really like my fried eggs cooked just right, where the whites are set but the yolk stays soft and runny, nice and gooey when you cut into it. I also mixed up a glass of lime juice to cool down. It's really simple to make. Just cut a lime in half and squeeze out the juice, then add a moderate amount of sugar and stir it well. Finally, pour in some water and there you have it. Time to dig into lunch. I opened up the soy sauce bottle and drizzled a bit onto the beef and eggs. Then I dipped the banh mi into it and ate everything together. For a lunch like this, it comes out to 100 grams of beef for $1, 3 eggs for 50 cents, half a loaf of banh mi for 15 cents, and 1 cucumber for 10 cents, totaling $1.75. Not bad at all for lunch. It's now around 5:30 p.m. Time to shower up and get ready to prepare dinner. In the evenings, I'm usually too lazy to cook, so I like making dishes that come together as quickly as possible. Tonight, I'll be having banh mi with canned fish in tomato sauce. First, I'll heat up some oil and saute garlic until fragrant, then add in the tomatoes. Once the tomatoes soften and release their juices, I'll open up the can of fish and add it in along with a bit of seasoning powder. Once it comes back to a boil, the dish is ready. Alright, time to plate everything up and enjoy dinner. Tonight's meal comes to a total of canned fish for 90 cents, half a loaf of banh mi for 15 cents, and 1 tomato for 15 cents, bringing the total for dinner to $1.20. Simple, quick, and satisfying after a long day. And that wraps up a full day of eating 3 banh mi based meals, totaling $3.60, or about 94,000 Vietnamese dong. If I'd eaten out for lunch and dinner instead, I think it could have actually been even cheaper, but I just prefer cooking for myself. If there's any Vietnamese dish you'd like me to feature next, drop a comment and let me know. See you all in the next video. For now, I'm off to wash the dishes, clean up, and get some rest.